You're sitting on the edge of your bed. The morning light comes in. You plant your feet on the floor and push to stand. But something feels off. Your knees hesitate. Your thighs feel weak. You catch yourself reaching for the nightstand. Again. It didn't used to be this way. Linda, 67, was in great health. No major illnesses. No surgeries. She walked every day. Ate her vegetables. Kept a positive attitude. But over the past year, she noticed something changing. It started with a little more stiffness in the mornings. Then came the difficulty climbing stairs. Eventually, she found herself avoiding walks altogether because her legs just felt tired. When she finally went in for a checkup, the doctor told her, "Everything looks normal for your age." But then she met a physical therapist who told her something that changed everything. It's not your age, it's your daily habits, tiny repeated actions that quietly weaken your legs over time. That's the part no one tells you. We're taught to expect weakness as we age, that it's just normal to slow down after 60. But that's not entirely true, because in many cases, your legs don't get weaker because of aging. They get weaker because of 5 habits you repeat every day without knowing it. Habits that seem harmless. Habits that even sound healthy. But over time, they chip away at your leg strength. Silently. According to the American Academy of Physical Medicine, more than 70% of adults over 60 lose muscle strength in their legs within just a few years without any diagnosed illness. And it's not due to injury. Not due to a lack of effort, but often due to unseen patterns in how we eat, move, rest, and even sit. That's why so many seniors say, "I'm doing everything right. So why do my legs still feel weak?" But it's not just about how your legs feel. These habits increase your risk of falls and fractures, poor balance and instability, nighttime cramps, difficulty getting up from low chairs, loss of independence. And the scariest part, you don't notice it until it's already progressed. There's no alarm bell, no sharp pain, just a slow, creeping weakness until one day stairs feel impossible. Let's pause for a quick self-check. Ask yourself, do I use my arms to help me stand up from low seats? Do my legs feel shaky after standing too long? Do I avoid long walks because I tire easily? If you said yes to even one, then this video is for you, because we're about to uncover the 5 most common habits that slowly but surely destroy your leg strength after 60. And once you spot them, you can start reversing the damage. The good news, this is not irreversible. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need painful workouts. And you definitely don't need to accept weakness as your new normal. What you need is awareness and a few small adjustments. Because once you break these 5 hidden habits, your legs can begin to regain the strength you thought was lost for good. And stay with us until the very end. Because in the last few minutes of this video, we'll reveal one daily habit from Japanese elders over 80 years old that helps keep their legs strong and mobile without needing walkers or canes. It's the most overlooked habit of all. And it might just change the way you start your day tomorrow. So before we go any further, ask yourself this. What if the things I've been doing every day are quietly breaking down the very muscles I need to stay independent? If that question hit close to home, then you're exactly where you need to be. Let's begin. Before we dive in, let me ask you something simple. How are your legs feeling today? If you got out of bed this morning without stiffness, walked across the kitchen without any wobble, and didn't feel your thighs burning when you stood up from a chair, that's a good sign. Feel free to leave a comment that says "strong today." We'd love to hear it. But if you've been feeling a little slower lately, maybe a bit unsteady, sore, or hesitant when climbing stairs, you're not alone. Millions of people over 60 are experiencing the same thing. But here's what most of them don't realize. It's not just age, and it's not something you have to accept as your new normal. This channel, Better Health, was made for seniors like you. We explain what's happening inside your body in plain, simple terms. And we help you take small, smart steps to stay strong, independent, and mobile. So if that sounds like something worth keeping in your life, please consider subscribing. It helps you stay connected to insights that can make a real difference one day at a time. Now take a deep breath, because what we're about to explore might completely change the way you think about aging legs. Here's a belief we hear all the time. As you get older, it's just normal for your legs to weaken. It's such a common idea, it almost feels like a fact. But what if that belief is wrong? What if the slow loss of strength you've been noticing isn't caused by age, but by 5 small habits you repeat every single day without even thinking about it? Yes, your body does change with time, but here's the surprising truth. Even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, your muscles are still capable of growth, stability, and strength. What they need isn't magic. They just need the right environment. And unfortunately, most of us are creating the wrong one without realizing it. Because those daily routines, the way you sit, eat, sleep, rest, and move, they're shaping the future of your legs. Not dramatically, not overnight, but quietly, gradually, in ways that don't become obvious until something small like tripping on a carpet or standing at the sink becomes unusually hard or even dangerous. The danger isn't the habit itself. It's that you don't notice its effect until it's too far along. That's why today's video is so important. We're going to look at the 5 most common silent habits that quietly weaken your legs after age 60. Some of them may surprise you. A few may sound innocent, even healthy. But once you understand what they're doing to your body, you'll never look at them the same way again. And don't worry, this is not about dramatic exercises or expensive supplements. The fixes are simple. The impact, life-changing. So let's begin with habit 1, the one that nearly everyone overlooks. But it might be the root cause of your daily leg fatigue. John is 72. He wakes up early, makes his coffee, and sits down to read the paper. After breakfast, he checks the news on his tablet, still sitting. Later, he watches a little TV, then lunch, then an afternoon nap in his recliner. Before he knows it, most of his day has been spent in a chair. Now, here's the catch. John believes he's taking it easy. He's not in pain. He gets up when he needs to. So, what's the problem? The problem is this: your legs don't lose strength because you're getting older. They lose strength because you're not using them enough, especially in ways that keep the muscles active. And sitting, especially sitting for long, uninterrupted periods, is one of the fastest ways to shut down your leg muscles. You might think, but I do get up to use the bathroom, grab a snack. Take a few steps. That's not enough. Why? Because the large muscles in your legs, the quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, glutes, are designed for supporting body weight, maintaining posture, and generating movement. When you sit for long periods, these muscles aren't just resting, they're slowly being trained to disengage. And over time, your body begins to prioritize conserving energy over maintaining strength. It's like telling your legs you're not needed anymore. This might explain why some people feel fine while sitting, but as soon as they try to stand, they feel stiff, weak, or even dizzy. The longer you sit, the more muscle fibers go unused. The more unused fibers, the faster they begin to atrophy. This doesn't happen overnight, but it builds quietly day after day until something as simple as getting up from a low seat feels like lifting a bag of bricks. Now here's the twist. Many seniors think that rest is good for aging joints. And yes, rest is important. But rest without activation is not rest. It's deterioration. And the worst part, your brain begins to reprogram itself to expect less effort from your legs. So even when you do want to be active, your body hesitates. It's been conditioned to sit still. So what can you do? You don't need to run laps. You don't need to go to the gym. All it takes is this simple rule. Every 30 minutes of sitting, move your legs for 2. That's it. You can march in place for 60 seconds. Do 10 slow squats next to a chair. Walk to the end of the hallway and back. Do a few heel raises or leg swings. And if mobility is limited, even tensing and relaxing your leg muscles while seated can help preserve connection and strength. Over time, this tiny shift tells your body these muscles still matter. Keep them alive. John started doing this after talking to a physical therapist. Just 5 movement breaks a day spread evenly. After 3 weeks, he noticed he could get up from the couch without pushing off his knees. And maybe the best part, his energy improved. Because when your legs stay active, your circulation balance and metabolism all get a boost. So ask yourself, how long have you been sitting today without a break? If it's more than 30 minutes, this is the perfect moment to stand up even for just 1 minute. Your legs will thank you. Now, let's move on to the second silent habit, one that often hides behind healthy choices but quietly chips away at leg recovery and muscle tone. For years, Margaret thought she was doing everything right. She avoided red meat. She ate salads, fruits, whole grains. She drank plenty of water and even took a multivitamin. But despite all this, she started feeling weaker. Her legs would tire quickly during her afternoon walks. Stairs became difficult. She chalked it up to aging until her doctor ran some blood work. The result? She was deficient in key nutrients that directly support muscle strength, especially in the legs. This is one of the most overlooked habits among older adults. Eating meals that are too light too often without enough nutrients to rebuild muscle. After age 60, your body processes food differently. It becomes less efficient at absorbing certain vitamins and minerals. And most importantly, it becomes less responsive to low-protein meals. You need more targeted nutrition, not less. Let's break it down. Every time you use your legs, whether walking, standing, or just getting out of a chair, you cause tiny amounts of muscle stress. And that's a good thing. It's how your body maintains strength. But in order to recover from that stress, your body needs protein to rebuild muscle fibers, magnesium to relax and coordinate muscle movements, potassium to support nerve signals and contraction, vitamin D to keep bones and muscles working in harmony, B12 to maintain energy levels and prevent fatigue. Now here's the issue. Many seniors eat meals that are low in these nutrients: a slice of toast for breakfast, a bowl of soup for lunch, some crackers and tea in the evening. It might feel light and healthy, but over time it's not enough, especially when your legs are quietly asking for more support. Margaret's diet wasn't bad, but it lacked consistency in delivering what her body needed to stay strong. Her doctor suggested a simple change. Prioritize 25-30 grams of protein per meal, especially breakfast and lunch. Add leafy greens, nuts, seeds, eggs, and oily fish. And supplement if needed, especially for vitamin D and magnesium, which are commonly low in older adults. After 3 weeks of eating more intentionally, Margaret felt a shift. She didn't just feel fuller, she felt steadier. Her legs had more power during her afternoon walks, and the cramps that used to wake her at night, gone. Here's a quick test. Do you often skip breakfast or eat just fruit and toast? Do your meals feel light, but leave you tired quickly? Have you had blood work to check for vitamin D, B12, or magnesium lately? If any of those raise a flag, you might be unknowingly underfeeding your muscles. And remember, you don't need to change everything overnight. Start with just one strong meal like eggs and sautéed spinach in the morning, or grilled salmon with quinoa and steamed greens for lunch. Add a magnesium-rich snack like a handful of pumpkin seeds or a piece of dark chocolate. Even small changes send a big message to your muscles. You're worth feeding. You're worth keeping. Your legs are more than limbs. They are your independence. And the fuel you give them matters more than ever. Now, let's move to the third silent habit, one that happens when you sleep, but can quietly drain your leg circulation and power over time. It's 2:30 in the morning. You're fast asleep until a sharp, sudden cramp grips your calf. You sit up, rub the muscle, maybe even swing your leg off the bed. Eventually, the pain fades. But now, your sleep is broken. Again. Sound familiar? For many older adults, night cramps and leg numbness feel like a mystery. But one of the most common causes is hiding right under the blanket. Your sleeping position. As we age, circulation becomes more sensitive. Veins and arteries don't move blood as efficiently as they once did, especially in the lower legs. And when we sleep in certain positions, like curled up too tightly, or with one leg folded under the other, we can inadvertently restrict blood flow for hours at a time. This creates pressure in the wrong places, behind the knees, in the hips, around the ankles. And over time, that reduced circulation can lead to numbness and tingling, morning stiffness, nighttime cramps, slow recovery after walking, even long-term muscle weakening. The problem is, we don't notice it, because it happens while we sleep. And if you've ever woken up with a dead leg, or taken the first few steps in the morning, feeling like your feet don't fully connect to the ground, this might be why. Here's what most people don't realize. Sleep is not just rest, it's recovery. But if circulation is compromised during those 6 to 8 hours, your legs aren't rebuilding, they're being deprived. And if that happens night after night, even the best diet or daytime activity won't fully make up for it. What can you do? Start by checking your sleep posture. Avoid sleeping in a tight fetal position, resting one leg over the other, tucking pillows under your knees for too long, sleeping with your legs bent at extreme angles. Instead, try this. Lie on your back or side with your legs slightly extended, not curled. Place a soft pillow between your knees if side sleeping. Consider elevating your legs slightly with a wedge pillow if you experience swelling. Do gentle ankle circles or calf stretches before bedtime to open circulation pathways. And most importantly, stay warm. Cold muscles constrict more easily, which increases the chance of cramps or blood flow restriction during sleep. So keep your legs covered, and if needed, use a gentle leg wrap or compression sock under doctor guidance for nighttime support. Let's look at Henry. He's 69, sleeps on his side, and used to wake up 2 to 3 times a week with painful leg cramps. He thought it was just one of those aging things. But after adjusting his sleep position, using a pillow between his knees, and doing 2 minutes of calf stretches before bed, the cramps stopped within a week. He didn't change his medication. He didn't add supplements. Just adjusted how he slept and gave his legs room to recover. Here's a simple test. Do your legs ever feel numb when you wake up? Do you shift positions frequently at night to get comfortable? Do you regularly cross or tuck your legs while sleeping? If so, your sleep posture may be interfering with your circulation and slowly wearing down your leg strength over time. But with a few mindful adjustments, you can turn sleep into a time of deep healing for your muscles. And now that we've talked about what happens while you rest, let's take a look at a fourth habit, one that seems innocent in your daily routine, but may be encouraging muscle loss even while you sit. Every afternoon, Robert has a routine. He finishes lunch, takes his tea to the recliner, and spends about an hour watching his favorite show. Sometimes he dozes off for a bit. Then he gets up slowly and heads to the kitchen for dinner prep. It sounds harmless, even restful. But over time, he noticed something odd. His legs felt shakier every time he stood up. His thighs burned more when climbing stairs. He thought maybe he was just tired. But what was really happening was that his legs were being trained to shut down. Here's the silent truth. When you sit without activating your leg muscles even slightly, your brain starts to disconnect from them. And that's not an exaggeration. In older adults, especially after 60, the neuromuscular connection, the brain-to-muscle signal chain, becomes more fragile. If you don't keep using those pathways, they weaken. Now, let's be clear. Sitting isn't bad. You deserve to rest. The problem is passive sitting, where the muscles are completely relaxed for long periods. No movement, no tension, no engagement. This state tells your body these muscles aren't needed. Shut them down. And what happens next? The postural muscles, those responsible for keeping your knees stable, your hips aligned, your ankles strong, they begin to atrophy. Not because you're inactive overall, but because during rest periods they're completely disconnected. You may walk 30 minutes a day, but if you spend 6 to 8 hours in a chair or on the couch with zero muscle engagement, your body gets mixed signals. It doesn't know which message to follow: stay strong or shut down. There's a simple way to fix this. You don't need to stand or stretch every 5 minutes. You just need to stay neurologically connected to your legs. Try this while sitting. Gently press your heels into the floor for 10 seconds, then release. Contract your thigh muscles as if preparing to stand, but don't move. Do seated marching lift: one knee, hold 2 seconds lower and switch. Rock slightly forward and back in your seat, engaging your core and hips. These micro movements tell your brain, we're still here, still working. Even 1 minute every half hour can make a huge difference. Robert tried this. Instead of letting his legs melt into the recliner, he started doing light heel presses during commercials. 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off. A few seated marches before getting up. He didn't even break a sweat. But after 2 weeks, he noticed something powerful. Getting out of his chair became easier. His legs stopped trembling when walking uphill. He felt more confident when standing for long periods. So here's a question. Do you sit in one position for long stretches without moving your legs at all? Do your knees or thighs feel asleep when you get up? Do you sometimes feel unsure of your balance after resting? If yes, this silent habit might be costing you strength without you realizing it. But now you know what to do. Don't stop sitting. Just make it smarter. Turn your chair into a mini training space, even if no one else can see it happening. Because every small contraction, every light activation, is a signal to your body. My legs matter. Keep them strong. Now, let's move on to the 5th and final silent habit. And this one might surprise you, because it has nothing to do with movement, and everything to do with your mindset. Of all the silent habits we've explored today, this one might be the most powerful because it doesn't start in your legs. It starts in your mind. Helen is 74. She used to love gardening. Kneeling in the soil, tending to her roses, carrying watering cans. But these days, she mostly watches from the porch. When asked why she stopped, she simply said, "Well, I'm getting older. My legs aren't what they used to be." That's just life, right? It's a common response. And it sounds harmless, but that belief that weakness is inevitable after 60 can quietly become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Here's what happens. When we believe something is unavoidable, we stop fighting it. We adapt. We adjust. We lower our expectations. And soon, we start organizing our lives around that belief. Instead of asking, how do I rebuild my strength? We ask, what cane should I buy? Or is there a stair lift on sale? Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with using tools for support. But when we stop challenging the loss, we accelerate it. The science is clear. Muscle growth is possible well into your 80s. Neuromuscular strength can be improved with simple, regular engagement. Balance, posture, and mobility all respond positively to even mild daily activity. But none of that matters if you've already decided that weakness is permanent. Because when the mind gives up, the body follows. Helen's turning point came when her granddaughter asked, "Nana, will you help me plant sunflowers this weekend?" She hesitated, then said yes. And for the first time in months, she got down on one knee, slowly, carefully, and helped press seeds into the dirt. It was shaky, it was awkward, but it woke something up. That evening she said, "Maybe I'm not done yet." And she wasn't. She started doing simple leg lifts while brushing her teeth. Practiced standing on one foot for balance while waiting for the kettle to boil. And every Sunday, she and her granddaughter watered the garden together. 6 weeks later, she no longer needed to hold on to the railing when climbing her porch steps. What changed? Not her body, her belief. So here's the real habit that weakens your legs. Saying to yourself, this is just part of aging. Because when that becomes your mindset, you stop looking for ways to fight back. But if you shift that thought just a little and start asking, What small thing can I do today to feel stronger tomorrow? You'll be amazed at how your body responds. Let's pause for a moment. Have you caught yourself saying, "I'm too old for this"? Do you avoid activities you used to enjoy because of your legs? Have you already accepted certain limitations as permanent? If so, this is your moment to challenge that. Not with guilt, not with shame, but with quiet defiance. Because aging is inevitable. But losing strength doesn't have to be. You've made it through all 5 habits. You now know what might be holding your legs back. And more importantly, you know that every one of these habits can be undone. But we're not finished yet. In the next part, we'll help you reflect on where you are right now and how to map your way forward so you never have to say too late again. Let's pause here. You've just learned about 5 everyday habits that may have been quietly draining the strength from your legs. But here's the real question. Where do you stand right now? Maybe you're in Group 1, your legs still feel strong most days. You move around well. You don't feel limited. But now you're aware of what to avoid, so you can keep your strength long into the future. If that's you, great. This is the perfect time to build protective habits early, before weakness ever becomes an issue. Or maybe you're in Group 2, you've started to notice small signs. Some stairs feel harder. You hesitate before rising from deep chairs. Your balance feels a bit off in the evenings. You haven't said anything out loud yet, but you know something's changed. This is your window, right now, because your muscles are still responsive. And with a few consistent changes, you can turn things around faster than you think. And then there's Group 3. Your legs feel unreliable. You've fallen once or twice. You avoid walking without support. You've begun reorganizing your life around what your legs can't do. But even here, it's not too late. Because your body hasn't given up. It's just waiting for a new message from your mind. And your daily actions. Even small improvements can restore confidence. Even a 5% gain in leg strength can change how you move through the day. So wherever you are, strong, struggling, or somewhere in between, this video wasn't just information. It was a signal that there's still more strength inside you. That decline is not destiny. And that the path forward starts with one small choice, made today. In the final section, we'll help you imagine what's possible when you start rebuilding and leave you with one lasting picture of strength to carry with you. Take a moment. Close your eyes if it helps. And imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning. You swing your legs over the side of the bed and you stand up. Without hesitation. No wobble. No pain. No stiffness. You walk toward the kitchen. Not dragging your feet, but moving steadily, confidently, like your legs are saying, "Yes, we're ready for today." You open the doorstep outside into the morning sun and feel something you haven't felt in a while. Trust in your own body, in your own steps. This isn't a fantasy, it's a possibility, because now you know what was quietly weakening your legs. And even more importantly, you know how to stop it. You know that movement matters, that food fuels, that sleep posture isn't just comfort, it's circulation, that sitting still doesn't have to mean shutting down, and that mindset shapes everything. You don't need to make big, dramatic changes. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is a little consistency and a refusal to settle for just aging. Every small shift you make is a vote in favor of your strength. So here's what you can do today. Choose one habit from this video to start reversing. Leave a comment below that says, "I'm choosing strength." And if this video spoke to you, if it gave you a moment of clarity or motivation, hit the subscribe button. Because we're just getting started. This channel exists for one reason, to help you stay strong, mobile, and independent, one step at a time. We'll be right here with you. Every habit, every breakthrough, every new beginning. So wherever you're starting from, remember this. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. And it is not too late. Your legs have carried you this far. Now, let's help them carry you even farther. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep moving forward.